worked on it for 2 days already. But I got the doors being installed today, so I got to be inside the house.
Good. All right, we have a Gemara Tanit. We're together.
You'll edit that part.
No, we won't. Gemara Tanit says El Emunah Ve'en Avel, right? That says what? It says God is a. Go ahead. What's the translation?
He's faithful.
Yeah,
Without perversion.
Without perversion, right? And the Gemara there says that just like He punishes the Reshaim in Olam Haba, even for a small avera that they do, so to Hashem punishes the Tzaddikim in Olam Hazeh on a small avera that we do or they do. And the Meharsha has a question. He says, "What are you learning from something that you don't know from?" He's asking the Gemara. It should have been taught the opposite. The Reshaim in Olam Haba, we don't know, we don't see, we don't know nothing. We don't know what's going to happen to them. But you're inferring this is why the Tzaddikim are getting punished in Olam Hazeh. It doesn't mean, it doesn't, you know,
You should learn it the opposite way.
You should learn the opposite way. What's the opposite way?
That you see the tzaddikim being punished here, and even though you don't know what's going on with the Rishon and Olam Haba.
No, just like the tzaddikim are getting punished here, because we see that, so too, you didn't say so too.
I didn't say so too.
That's the key word. That connects the first part to the last part. So too, the Reshaim will be punished in Olam Haba. That's the Mehasha's question, right? And he does, which we opened up, he answers. Zera Shimshon says that, but he even asked even further about the Nevi'im. This was awesome. The Nevi'im, you see, had a problem with that. That how could it be? You see, the Yirmiyah, you know, he says, Madua derech Reshaim saleha. How could it be the derech Reshaim are the ones that do well, right? And Asaf Hanavi also said, right? I envied when I saw the peace of the Reshaim. He goes, it doesn't make any sense. So what is it? It tells you, the logic tells you that the Reshaim, even so, it shows you that what? Why do you say that?
That they should have to endure it.
Oh, they should have. Because they're getting, because the Nevi'im had a problem with it, which means that if the Nevi'im had a problem with it, maybe that means that they don't have, that maybe they do get good stuff and they get bit because they're getting good here. And the Nevi'im had a problem with that. I said, why are the Reshaim getting good things here? The Nevi'im had Ruach HaKodesh, right? The Navi, we study Navi, why? Because it's Ruach HaKodesh. So even the Nevi'im had a problem with the Reshaim getting good in Olam Hazeh.
Saying it's not enough. They should be punished here too.
Yes. Right. Exactly. They should, right, even in this world. Because the Nevi'im also had a problem. And after, what did the HaKadosh Baruch Hu answers them? And he says that he pays them back for any mitzvah that they do in Olam Hazeh. Why? In order to push them away to Olam Haba. So they shouldn't get any type of Olam. By the way, we have a really, that pasuk's awesome, Veit Hanan. Right? Shalem lesonav al panav leha'avido. He pays is the ones that he hates, right? In order to lose them, la'avido. Lo yaheh lesono al panav yishalem lo. He wants to pay them now, so he doesn't have to pay them later. Right? Mm-hmm. And it says in the Gemara in Eruvim, Kol sheken shedavar yadua sheyesh lahem lareshaim onish gamur ba'olam haba sheharei nikru sonav. And we know, it's a known fact that the Reshaim are going to get punished, but Onish Gamur is not Onish, by the way. Onish Gamur sounds rougher. Yeah. Onish Gamur, Ba'alam Haba, right? Why? Because they're called as hated ones. So, meaning if you're hated, something's going to happen to you. You ain't, there's a reason why we call them Tzaddikim Reshaim. So, understanding this concept of getting getting paid in this world, specifically in order that they don't get paid in next world, you could understand the Gemara. Why? Because just like the Reshaim get punished, right, in Olam Haba, even on a small sin that they do, right? Why? Because they're called Sonin, because he hates them. Because in the future, he's not going to have any compassion on them at all. Any. Right? So too, from the Tzaddikim, the complete opposite side, the Tzaddikim is going to make sure that he punishes the Tzaddikim in Olam Hazeh on every single Averah. Why? Because we're called his loved ones, and he loves us, he wants to punish us now, so we could be cleaned up for Olam Haba. Because you might think the opposite. You might think that a loved one, what would you do for your kid? You're not going to judge him, Dean. He's your son. You love him, you're going to go easy on him. So you'd imagine that Hashem would do the same for his loved one in Olam Hazeh. And the truth is he doesn't. And why doesn't he? Because he wants to pay us.
That's his faithfulness.
Full, right? That's El Emunah Ve'en Avel. Meaning that he pays, that the no prejudice is that he pays the Tzaddikim the way in the next world, and he pays the Reshaim in this world in order to get them away, but he pays everybody properly. Okay, so the tzaddikim, we have to take care of it here in Olam Hazeh, so we don't get beat up in Olam Haba. And you're good, by the way, the Zera Shimshon says, I think the Sfat Emet says also that what's Geinam? Geinam is you just crying of guilt, of regret. Because once you see the emet and when you know that it's and then you see it in front of you, all of a sudden, you're gonna regret more than you've ever regretted in your life, and that's the siruf that a person has. That's the dibun that a person has, and therefore he's saying that he wants the tzaddikim to get it now. The reshaim is gonna get it later, right? And then you can understand what it says. But there's a great question he asked. Now, in the Gemara Rosh Hashanah, it says there's three books that are open, right? Hayim, Mavet, and to be determined, by Yom Kippur. Really, according to the way we're learning it, we should have five books. Why should have two extra books?
You can see why there are three books. It's three books because you have the tzaddik,
Sadiq,
who's already there, and you
right?
have the Rasha, who's already there,
Right,
and
who
then
gets
you have the Benoni.
right, who gets pushed off.
Yeah.
So we say that we should also have another two books, right? We say one that guy is mostly
Righteous.
just righteous, and the other one that's mostly bad, and then he should get all his all the bad stuff locked in. Would make sense, right? And by the way, it says like it says in Gemara Kiddushin, it says just like if a person that is mostly a Sadiq and he does a sin, Hashem punishes him as if he was like Soreh for Torah. God forbid. Why? Because he wants to libun him now. Because you understand when you libun him, when he libuns you, when he really cleans you up, then it pushes you to become a better person, and that's how you become a Sadiq. It's all about the midot, but you need the Torah with the midot because look, we talked about the leftists, that that even that if you
They're
could
still
have,
full of rimon.
they're still filled, but not that different. That they have good intentions, but they completely mess it up. To do, if they focus, you could focus anything. Inspiration is good, but if you don't have the mitzvot, if you don't have the Torah, if you don't have halacha, it can go AWOL. You need that structure.
It's unguided.
It's unguided. There you go. Better. It's unguided. Hey, come on in. Come. Okay, so let's finish here. So again, so he's saying what? So just like a Sadiq, he just like he punishes the Sadiq, even though he's full of good, right? In order to become a Sadiq Gamud, right? In order to have Olam Haba, it should also be included in Sadiqim Gimurim. No, I'm sorry, because in order for us to become connected with Sadiqim Gimurim, same thing with that he does good for the Rasha, right? It's for his bad. It's not for his benefit. Punishing the Sadiq in this world is for his benefit. Rewarding the Rasha in this world is for his badness. Rasha Gamur, in order to make him, his savings account depleted, and it becomes Rasha Gamur, and the guy goes into Gehinam. Right? Why? Because he should also be with the Reshaim Gimurim. Ki elu mishpatim, these are the judgments in order to make them complete. Remember, we said the guy that's mostly righteous or mostly bad, we should have books for those guys also, not just Hayim ve'amavet, because they're not Benoni. Benoni is Dafka in the middle, right? So he's doing so what do you have to say? You have to say the answer is that Reshaim Gimurim nichdavim v'nechmatim da'atar lemitah. The Reshaim Gimurim are written and sealed and they're put to death immediately. But how could you say that? We see people all the time that are Reshaim and they're alive and walking around. And what's the answer? V'adai sarich lomar, that even if they are not Gamud,
Their bodies are alive.
their bodies are alive, but they have karet. They have karet. And even if they put, and also the reason why you don't have these other two books open is because I think he puts them together in the in the what's it called in the like the Benoni book. Why? Because maybe he puts them in the book of life in order to pay them out.
Yeah.
Pay them out now. You understand? To pay them out now, so they can get everything. Then when you get to Olam Haba, when you get to the finish line, then you're going to get what you get, good or bad. And Bezat Hashem, and the Zechut of our learning, we should all be inscribed in the book of life, and we should also have Shana Tova Mtuka, and we should be inscribed also. We should also become Ben Olam Haba. Ben Olam Haba means you acquire Olam Haba. Not you're going to have Olam Haba, you're going to be Ben Olam Haba. You should acquire. Baruch Adonai Olam, Amen ve'amen.